Hey everybody, how are you? Trying to get this centered here in my camera. It seemed like last week when I was on Thursday night, I was too close to the camera. It felt like the phone, which I'm using my camera for my phone, it just kept falling and I was getting closer and closer and closer to the table, and then my camera kept wanting to adjust. And it was, oops, I'm sorry. And it was probably giving you a headache doing that. So let me refresh my page and look for the live video. Here we go. Okay. All right, so I'm going to give just a few minutes because I know that some people aren't on right away. And if you haven't had a chance to collect your the things that you need to make this card, if you're interested in making it, then I'll give you a couple minutes to do that. So it got warm today. I have the window open in my stamp room, and it's toasty, but it's nice. It's not too warm. It's just nice. So hopefully everybody is looking forward to summer. I am. I'm looking forward to getting outside more. I want to work in the yard. I've got some work to do. We're in the flower garden. I've got a flower garden out front, and so I need to tend to that. And then my husband always puts a garden in, so we've got that as well. So we will we'll be putting in tomatoes and green peppers and usually lettuce and radishes, and it might be getting a little too warm now for those because I know that the radishes and the lettuce and stuff have to go in pretty early. But since we just had some frost last week, I don't know, it might not be too early, so we'll see. So yeah, if you are here and you want to participate in my Mystery Monday stamping, then go ahead and grab these items. And if you just want to watch, that's fine too. I'm okay with that. I appreciate you being here, and if you would just share, like and share this video with your friends, that would mean a lot to me. So I usually have a few friends jump on here, but so far I haven't seen anybody. So they might be busy if they want to catch the replay. So let's just see here a second. So Facebook has done this new thing where you can be I can be logged into Tucker Top Notch Designs the same time I'm logged into my regular Theresa Tucker page. And but then when that happens, then I end up messaging as Theresa Tucker instead of Theresa with Tucker Top Notch Designs. So that's okay, but it's kind of confusing sometimes. So okay, so these are the clues. This is the first clue that I give. Now, I always provide this clue on my blog, and my blog is tuckertopnotchdesigns.blogspot.com. Now, I have been working on my blog. It was beautiful, and then I wanted to make it more beautiful, and now it's not finished. But once I get it finished, it'll be nice. It'll be nicer than what it was. So, anyway. Every Sunday morning, or every Sunday at noon, that's where you'll find these mystery clues. And then usually sometime Sunday afternoon, I'll put them on my business page here. And then I give you the rest of the clues tonight while we're playing along. And just one by one step at a time, one clue at a time, you get to figure out what the card is. So no cards look the same. They're all different. Everybody does them differently. But the important thing is that you're stamping. So for this first one right here, it says to score this cardstock at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2, which is right here. So it goes like this. And this is what we call the Z pattern. So that's a Z fold, just like that. Then the second clue, adhere designer series paper to the front left flap of your card base. So right here, you're going to add designer series paper. Since I haven't shown you this on here before on my Facebook business page before, I'm just going to kind of play along with you so that there's a clear understanding of what I'm asking you to do in my clues. So you're just going to put your DSP right here on the front left flap of the card base. And once you have that, we'll go to clue 3. We're going to stamp an image on scrap, basic white, or very vanilla cardstock. Now, you don't have to stamp this on scrap if you don't want to. One of my cards that I'm going to show you a little bit later, I did. I put it on a scrap piece because I wanted to cut it out with a die and then attach it to my card front. But this time I'm going to just stamp. I'm just going to stamp a couple images here. And you can do the same while I'm doing mine. So these are photopolymer stamps, and what that means is that there's not any rubber backing to it. So you have to put a pierce mat underneath it just to give it a little bit of cushion. It just gives it a little clearer image. You can stamp without it, but if you run into problems, then that's probably why, because you just need to provide that extra cushion underneath it. So I haven't used this stamp set yet, and I think I'm going to, let's see, maybe just for the sake of showing, I'm going to just put this stamp on there. So this is a 2-step stamp. What that means is the stamps that are colored in like this, that's for the inside of the flower, and this will stamp the outside of the flower. And generally, I will stamp the outside of the flower with Tuxedo Black Memento ink, but we'll see. Oh, the other thing is you want this card right here to be landscape. So you don't want to stamp it portrait. You want to stamp it this way because that's the way we're making our card. Okay, and let me grab another color. I think I'm going to grab Mary Merlot. I want a little bit different color, brighter. I want the color around the flower to really stand out. So I'm going to use now this one. Let me clean this, excuse my arm. Let me clean my stamp off first so I can just set it out of the way. Close up this ink. I end up with inky fingers and then I end up with ink all over the card. So try to avoid that. All right, so we need to figure out which way this stamp goes. It's probably not going to matter too much, but usually there is a right and wrong way. So I'll say we're going to go like this. We'll see what it looks like. And excuse me if I get my head in the way. Hey, that's not too shabby, is it? Ta-da! I'm pretty happy with that. So, given that I am doing a sample while I'm giving you these clues, I'm going to stop right there. I'm not going to stamp any more on there yet. And we're going to go on to clue number 4. So clue number 4, stamp a sentiment to the right side of this horizontal 2 3/4 by 3 3/4 basic white or very vanilla cardstock. So right here we're going to put a sentiment. So I made 3 cards, Z-fold cards, preparing for this tonight, and I'm anxious to show them to you. And I'm going to stamp here for you now. I've got friends and family members who are going through some horrendous things right now. It's so sad. And I was just talking to my daughter about this today. I just feel like everybody can use a card right now, and it's something to just to cheer them up. So I'm making cards for friends and family. I'm going to check this and see if it's straight. Yes, it is. It says here for you now. I love this font. This is beautiful. And hopefully I'll get this on here straight. My friends tell me I have crooked eyes, so you might find out why they say that here in a second. Not bad. I get better with experience, just like you. If it's not exactly the way you like it, you can flip this over and do it again. So that's the nice thing about cardstock. There's 2 sides. So don't get discouraged if it's not exactly the way that you want it to be. Let me clean off this stamp. So this is my chamois. This is what Stampin' Up! Sells to clean these photopolymer stamps with. It's just water on there. And after a while, it just looks really yucky. It looks dirty, but I clean it. It's fine. It still cleans my stamps, so no need to replace it yet. Although I do have a brand new one. I'll probably break out at one of my shows. All right, so we have that. Now, what's next? Number 5, adhere the 2 3/4 by 3 3/4 basic white or vanilla cardstock onto the 3" by 4" cardstock. So that's this one here, and we're going to put it on this size cardstock. So go ahead and do that. You can use liquid glue, you can use Stampin' Seal, you can even put it on Dimensionals if you feel like doing that right now. You can use any liquid glue or any glue that you've got available. Just go ahead and use it. It doesn't have to be Stampin' Up! The important thing is that you're creating, you're stamping, and we're together. So we're just going to place it on here like this. Okay, now we'll go to clue number 6. Now we're going to adhere these layers onto the 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And that doesn't look like that's it. Let me double check this. sometimes when I'm cutting paper or cardstock, this is 4 1/4. This is not 3 1/4. So I'm going to cut this down. So it's 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Just one moment. You can go ahead and layer yours now. And it's I think it'll look better if it's on the right size cardstock. So here we go. We're going to put it on here now. I like the liquid adhesive that Stampin' Up! Sells, mainly because it gives me a little bit of wiggle room if I need to move my layer around a little bit. The other thing about it though is that it will stick, and once it's stuck down you can't get it back up unless it's still wet. The Stampin' Seal that they sell is a little bit different. If you put your cardstock down and you want to move it, you can just rip it off real fast and you'll probably be fine. But not so much with the glue. Okay, so there's that. And clue number 7, adhere all layers to your card front, being careful not to glue your card shut. Only put adhesive on the left side of the layers. So what I'm talking about is when you put this on the front of your card, you just want to make sure that when you put the liquid glue or the Stampin' Seal on it, that you don't go past this point here. You just want to keep it on the left side of the card, otherwise you will adhere it shut. So if you are just joining me, or if you're catching me on YouTube, or if you're watching this later, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. I hope that you enjoy the card that we're making tonight. I hope you're making your own rendition and that you will share that with me later. Okay, next, clue number 8. Set the 5.5 by 4 inch white or vanilla cardstock on the inside of the card to see where the layer's edges come to. So right here, we're going to just set this down in here, and we want to note where the edge of this card comes to, because we're going to stamp on the inside and we don't want to go beyond this point. So if you're confident that you can stamp right there and stay outside, don't get into this margin, then go ahead and stamp it, and you can go ahead and adhere it down. But if you want to, you can also just take a pencil and just kind of here on the corner and here around this corner, and then you can stamp within that area that you just marked. So I'm going to go ahead and put this sentiment down. But since I'm pretty confident that I'm going to stamp it exactly where I want it to be, first I'm going to line it up here on my grid paper. This is the 6x6 grid paper that Stampin' Up! Sells. It's perfect for the Stamparatus. It fits in there really well. And it's also good for small projects like this, or if I'm working at my table and I'm filming, then I don't have as much room here, so it's easier to just use the 6x6. Now this isn't going to be long enough. Maybe this one will be. Nope. Just one second. I'm going to get a longer block. Here we go. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the card base. Now I have a Technique Thursday class coming up this week, and I will be doing a fun fold card. I'll be advertising that so that you know what we'll be making. I like to do fun folds and techniques so that you can learn different different techniques and fun folds, and it's always fun to get a fun fold card in the mail. Hopefully you can see everything I'm doing. Hopefully my phone isn't like falling down like it was doing last week, and you can see everything. So I'm going to just ink this up, and I'm going to check it here to see if it's straight, and it is straight, so I'm happy with that. So I'm going to stamp this. One of the other reasons sometimes I don't put, oh, it's not exactly straight, but I think it's okay. One of the reasons why I don't always put my cardstock down is because if I mess it up, you know, like really mess it up, then I can flip it over. So you can see here that it covers just fine. So I'm good there. It looks like I barely made it though, doesn't it? So that basically is our card. Now, if you cut out an image and you used a die to cut it out, or a punch or what have you, and you want to add it to your card, you're going to do that right here. Just go ahead and use Dimensionals and put that on your card right there. I think that's what my next clue says. Here is Stamp the Sentiment on the cardstock, which we just did that. And here, if you cut out the image in clue 3, adhere it to the left side right here with Stampin Dimensionals. So let me just get a couple of things out of the way, because that concludes our card for this evening. And I will show you a couple of cards that I've created using this Z-fold technique. Oh, another thing is you can embellish it right here and now. So let me just look for a couple of embellishments that I can put on there. I've got the 2022 enamel dots. I think I'll use a couple of these. Stampin' Up! Is coming out with a new catalog. It's released on May the 4th. And I have catalogs. If you would like one, please let me know, and I'll get one sent out to you. Just contact me. And let me grab some scissors. Scissors work great for this. My pick tool works better, and I don't see it offhand. So we're just going to use the scissors and pick it up and set it down. We'll do a couple more. And one more. I could have used the Misty Moonlight right there, because that's what my card base is, Misty Moonlight. So that would have worked well too. So I'm not going to add ribbon to it tonight. So that concludes this card. Isn't it cute? So cute. I love it. Okay, so here's the first one that I made for tonight, and if I had to do it over again, I would have used a different designer series paper, but I wasn't sure how my card was going to look when I started making it. For this particular card, I used this stamp set. It's called Brushed Blooms, and it is in our current catalog. It will be available till the end of June. Even though the 2021-22 catalog comes out and it goes live on May the 4th, we still have the mini catalog that will stay live until the end of June. So that's where this stamp set is, Brushed Blooms, and it also comes with a die. So on the inside, I stamped it, and I put, "Let's paint the town as long as I'm home by 9." Well, that sounds like me, to tell you the truth. I'm not a night owl at all. So that's one of them. And then this one here, let me get this out of the way. This one here I made using this stamp set. It's called Quiet Meadow, and it also comes with dies. So the dies cut out several of the they kind of look like shadows to me, so that's why I placed it behind this flower. I fussy cut this flower out because I wanted to put it on the card with dimensionals. It doesn't have a die to cut this particular flower out, so that's why I had to fussy cut it. And that's the inside. Thinking of you, heartfelt love and caring thoughts are with you. So as I mentioned earlier, I've got several family members and friends who are going through some really, really tough times, and I want to cheer them up with some cards. So that's what I'm working on. That's why I'm making these cards. So here's a card. This is one that I did. This is the Thursday card. It's the one I did last week. And it is a thank you card. And this is the card that my customers will receive when they place an order in May. So this is the front side. This is called a tower card. And on the inside here, I stamped it, and then I can write a message here. But usually for my customers, I don't even write on the inside of the cards. I just write on a Post-it and leave it to them to share it with somebody else. Now these bumblebee trinkets are new this time. This is a new stamp set as well. So these are items that will be in the new catalog when it is released on May the 4th. And here's the first one that I did. Let's see. It's kind of let me get it out here right. Okay. All right. This is the other one that I made. This is also thanks. And this is the tower card as well. And then on the inside, I stamped it and then colored it with Stampin' Blends. So those are those two cards. Oh, here's another one that's sitting here. I will show this one to you as well. This is a window card that we made 2 weeks ago on my Thursday technique class. And all it is, it's a window like this, and then it's also a card. So life is short by the shoes. And the way that I created this card is that I took the stitched dies, which are retiring by the way, and I cut out the center, and then I cut out the next smallest size out of basic white cardstock, and that's what I stamped on, and then I layered it onto that card so that it is, I'm not wasting anything when I made this card. I'm using all the pieces. So that's that. And I think that's all I have for you. So if you have any questions, hi Carol, it's good to see you. Oh, thank you for the prayers. I really appreciate that. I really do. So I think that's all I have. I don't know how much of this you have seen tonight, but you've got the video now. So just go ahead and play it at your leisure. And I think I'm done. How are you doing? I'm glad you popped on here. I'm glad you liked the cards. So tomorrow we get our new, we get our updates from Stampin' Up. So I will call you on Wednesday on my lunch hour at noon and we'll talk about it. And if you've got any questions or anything, just leave me a comment. Please like and share with your friends because I really appreciate it. I've been trying to build my business for a few months now and it just takes a while. I'm working hard at it, but it takes consistency. So I'm willing to put that in. So anyway, that's it for tonight, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.